Okay, so here are all the parts I'm going to be using to build the Sukoshi. These are the parts that were sent to me, and you get the top plate, main plate here, you get the shield for the bottom section, and then there is this camera mount that is actually meant for the FX797 or 798T decased, because it's where the case is too big. This is the camera that it's actually designed for, is this one here, and you've seen this on my channel lots of times. However, I'm not going to use this camera. I'm going to be using these parts here. I'll talk about these in a second here, but let me finish with these. So you get these 4 TPU motor pods that screw onto the ends of the arms here for the motors, and then you get these set of screws here for the motor pods and for screwing down the shield. And then you get these nylon screws and nuts to hold the top and bottom plates together with the shield. The parts I'm going to be using are actually parts that are spare parts for the Tiny QX90 and the upcoming Tiny QX80. It's the all-in-one VTX camera, the F3 brush board, and the Tiny QX90 Free Sky receiver, and all of these are available as spare parts, and I'll put a list of all these parts in the description as usual, and also I'll be putting some 8.5 by 20 Spintech motors in here as well, so it should be pretty fast. So you guys are probably wondering about this camera and why it looks different. I removed the circular polarized antenna and put on this linear whip antenna, and I'll have a separate video on where I got this and how I put this on. So if you're curious about this, put a little card here in the corner where you can check it out if you want to watch that video. It just did this so that there's less things for it to run into and a lot less weight. Okay, I've got the first part of this done. I've mounted my flight controller, which already has the receiver and the FPV pigtail already soldered on. If you guys are wondering why I'm glossing over this, is because I have another video called the Tiny QX90 rebuild. I'll put a card up here in the corner. You could watch that video that kind of goes over a little more detail about how these are put together. This is essentially the same video, just with a different frame. So in this case, what I did is I screwed on the motor pods with the supplied screws, and this is a TPU motor pod, and mounted the flight controller, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to put my motors in, solder them on, and I'll show you what that looks like after that's done. And then really all that's left is to put on the top and screw everything down, so, and then plug in the video camera. Pretty simple build, actually. Be right back. Okay, so here are all the motor wires soldered in, and so the next step is to stick on the shield, screw that on, and put the top on, then put some props on and go and fly it, and obviously plug in our FPV camera. So I'll finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is all done. Basically, we use these 4 long screws to secure this shield and the top plate, and use these other screws here to secure the camera mount. And I actually have this camera higher up in this mount because it's too wide here to fit in the back. Even though I cut off a little bit of the plastic here, it just doesn't go all the way down, so I just put some foam in there and some double-sided foam tape to secure the camera for now. It's a little bit higher than it should be. The lens should be down where the lip of this mount is, but should be okay for now. And just got to get some props on here, throw a battery underneath, and go ahead and fly it.